Hey everyone, Clint Butler here from Digitaleer, and this is another site audit. Today we're going to look at Dr. Bo Davison's website for Hawks Prairie Pediatric Dentistry and West Olympia Kids Dentistry. Now this is pretty exciting because we get to show off some best practices for using multiple locations on the same website. In this case, Dr. Davison has a location in Olympia and one in Lacey, Washington. We're going to find some things that are common errors inside of these types of websites that some agencies kind of miss because they're not used to dealing with it on a average basis. So, with that said, we're going to do this in the following format. First is obviously the what is it, what's it about, and what's in it for me. Then we'll look at some technical aspects of the website. And then we'll dig into where they're at right now and some recommendations for future marketing efforts, both in search engine optimization and even pay-per-click and Google Maps. We're going to focus primarily for Dr. Davison here on Google Maps because we know from having clients in this market area that Maps is actually driving a significant amount of phone calls, which leads to more appointments and clients for these businesses types. So, with that said, let's get started. What is it? The Sub is a website for dentists. If you're looking for dentists, and it looks like it's focusing on based on the domain name and the heavy emphasis on kids is kids dentistry or pediatric dentistry. The what's it about? Obviously, pediatric dentistry or dentistry for kids. And what's in it for me? I get to call and make an appointment. Some conversion suggestions here. If you highlight over these two things, it actually gives you information or leads to the location page, which I'll open up here. Here we go. And then it leads, this is your phone number, etc. Here's what I would do. I'd actually turn these links off and then maybe put another tab for our locations or contact us inside of here. And then I switch these links so someone can click this on desktop or mobile and actually call you instead of going to this page. Because the information is really duplicated here, so make it easy. If they land on hawksprairie4kidsdentistry.com, they click on one of these for the location that they want to actually get an appointment for or talk to, versus making them click here, or if they try to click on this and it goes to another page. It's just a user experience thing. I think it'll actually help you generate a little bit more phone calls. It won't be significant, but you can monetize the traffic you have that way and get a better interaction from using your website. Some other things that I noticed here is the Meet the Dr. Davison, our philosophies and our tours, and then your reviews are down here. This is actually pretty good. I like how you did this. I don't know if I would kind of roll them up like that with 5 out of 5. You want to have some comments on there, so maybe consider changing that up to actually putting some images. So you can see different reviews. Again, this roll up is pretty nice. So I would actually do recent patient reviews, and then once a month maybe fix like your top 10 where they made some awesome comments, and drop them in here, and then just do that once a month and rotate. Now I know that you are using Sesame and you're kind of stuck. They charge $100 an hour just to edit your website. But I'm sure you can look at the way this page is made inside of your platform and edit that a little bit to at least add images to this section on your own, or have your agency do it for you. And then you have the information: new payment, new patients, preventive dentistry, dentistry for kids, etc. I'm going to show you some stuff with Sesame that you'll actually find pretty interesting, and may question your decision to use them for the future. I know you're locked into a 12-month contract. That's how Sesame does it, but I'll dig into that in a little bit. Okay, so let's look at the technical aspects of the website for SEO purposes. When we ran a scan on you, we actually had to use a proxy to do it in order to get all this information, because I opened this web page like 4 times on my own IP and then it blocked me. Because of the security settings that Sesame has, it makes it very tight. Again, you'll see in my in the when I go into the hosting and some issues with Sesame, that you'll why that's actually bad, and I think it's probably hurting you, especially if someone comes here multiple times, is trying to read information, clicks through a lot of your website real fast, and they get blocked, and then they move on. So let's look at some of the site structure issues. So you see empty meta description and too long title tags. This is too long title tags, only 4, but the really significant issue is the empty meta description. If we look at your pages, you see it's not found, and it is in some, and then significantly, but for the most part, a lot of your pages are missing it. Mostly it's in the blog section where your old content is at. What we do is probably recommend going in there and updating that to show the meta description. You can do that inside of the Sesame dashboard. Limited clearly on what you're allowed to do with Sesame, but you can do that inside of there. Okay, we're back on this sheet now. You see the other 404 status code and a 500 status code. Really, there's not too much to worry about. I would dig a little bit deeper, but I think that's related to the IP blocking issue that is set up. And then too long URLs, again, that's not something I have to worry about either. And the too long meta description, we'd optimize those as well. Just to give you a little bit of clarity, what the meta description does is in this section right here, it fills out this section right here for you. And then you can get to tell Google what you really want in there versus making it or allowing it to choose it on its own. We like to use this option right here, where you set up a call to action inside of there so they can call you. You see a bunch of other dentists are doing that as well. Just to do a little bit better than them, obviously, just to say call us now, or call today, or schedule an appointment today, then you give your phone number. We found that works best. You might not get traffic to your website, but you get the phone calls, which is really what you want anyway. Back to your site structure, this is what is called a schema markup. The markup on your website is actually incorrect in the way that Sesame did it. The entire site has this information on it for both locations. It's actually confusing Google, and it's hurting you in the maps listings. I'll show you a little highlight of the maps listings as we go into dig a little bit deeper using this other website browser. Here is your Lacey dental office. The schema structure data tool is showing this is duplicated, and then you have this here. So you're sending mixed messages to Google, and basically what that is doing is resulting in your current maps listings being down here lower in the search results. You want to be in the top 3 here. You made it, but because you're sending mixed messages, if you can click on here, you'll actually see there's your service for Lacey, but this is the Olympia office that you want to publish, right? And that's causing a little bit of issues. Make sure I got that correct, because you got the 2 services. Yeah, there's a Lacey office, but it's showing the Lacey office in the Olympia listings, and then your Olympia office is nowhere to be found. So we want to make sure that the structured data on the website is reflecting that. This should not be on site-wide because you have specific location pages. If you only had 1 office, then site-wide is perfectly fine. In your case, you have 2, so that needs to be corrected. An example of how it would actually look correct is if you use our website, we have organization, website, and professional service. Now, because we are site-wide, we only have 1 location. This is on the home page, and then we have to update and edit per page based off of our needs. But we could do this site-wide if we wanted to. You need to have the organization for you. This would actually go on your home page, all your social properties, etc., that you're leveraging to build brand trust and recognition. And then a proper local business citation roll-up would look just like this. As you can see, yours is significantly different. It's missing a lot. It's missing geo radiuses, etc. This all helps Google populate the information in those maps and local search. I'll scroll down a little bit more just to give you a little bit more insight. It doesn't really mean too much to you, but again, this part right here, geo coordinates, this is where your business is at, and it helps trigger the results in that maps listing specifically for here, where the West Olympia or the what is it? The West Olympia Kids Dentistry listing should be here, not the Hawks Prairie. And then if you go into this one, you see that they did this one right because it is based off of my location. I'm not too far from your office here. It's popping up right there. But you can search from, let's say you're in the West Olympia office and you have to do the same search and see if that shows up. Here's the maps listings for your site. Doing good, got good reviews. And then here's the other one. Now you have two maps listings here, so that's why your website should say the same thing. And then as you go into your citations, which we'll look at in just a minute, it has two different addresses too that we need to optimize better. The site is mobile friendly. There are some page loading issues, but you can see here it kind of looks a little convoluted. This is something that goes on with the way that Sesame builds their sites. Probably not much you can do about it. But again, this one is probably your key. These two call us buttons are good. So you can do it with a responsive web design with the click-throughs, or you can do it the way that they have it set up, as long as you're getting some phone calls. Here's your page speed. Now this site is actually borderline a little bit of slow. You want to be under 3 seconds. I think you're doing okay right there. But looking at the optimization pieces, there's some things that are causing some issues, like the first call from Sesame, and then the script right here. I'm not sure what that is. Looks like yellow pages or something like that. We have to figure that out for you as you dig into it, if we were to. You are being hosted on Amazon.com. I know that Sesame charges you $150 a month for Amazon. I can tell you that we use Amazon.com to host all of our images on our website. Our website is very image heavy, and I pay about 15 cents a month, and I get about 2,000 visitors a month. So I pay about 15 cents a month for hosting. So really, are you getting the value for $150 a month hosting fee when you're using Amazon? I think the only real thing you might be paying more is website maintenance. But then if you're paying for the maintenance of it, then why do you also have to pay for the editing, the $100 an hour for editing, etc.? Here's your Yex listings. This is for West Olympia. These are all the citations. These citations are what drives the information data flow that goes into Google Maps. They're not as significant as before, but they are still significant. You can see what the benefit of having these correct is. You get some extra phone calls from these other websites that do have traffic. I personally don't use them, but again, Yelp is there, White Pages, Switchboard 411, all of these sites have traffic. You see a significant issue is that, one, they're giving some different information. Your phone number is different on these. And then you have some that you're just not leveraging at all. We like to make sure that all 70 plus of these have your information, that's all consistent. Again, that helps with the maps rankings and building brand trust for your business. Plus, you get the phone calls from those sites, which is helpful. If you look at Olympia Dentist here, there's a search volume of 390 a month. Your business is not here, and nor is it in maps. If being in the Lacey / Olympia border area where I live, you can see that is not bringing anything up for you, and you're not down here either. You really want to be in the top 3 for those. Because Olympia Dentist and Olympia Kids Dentist will get 2 different search volumes, but I'll show you what I'm talking about there. Here's the Hawks Prairie office. You can see the numbers are different, and then they're not showing up properly in the listings. Looks like Bing is a little bit confused and not bringing up Hawks Prairie right at all. I'm not sure if you have a listing in there or not, but I don't think so. Yelp is giving a different phone number. Or the Hawks Prairie office is not in there yet, so we need to get all that correct. And the same issue with all of these other listings. Just clean that all up so that each office has their own representation on each one of those sites. Here's the Lacey version. You can see, again, in the maps, you're not popping up at all. Based off of my location, you should be there. There's 260 search volume. This is another one of our clients. We helped her in the past. And then you want to be able to, just leverage the maps right, which at this time you're not. We can take a little bit closer and see if you're anywhere in here. There you are, Hawks Prairie Dentist. Scroll down, and you can see you're down at the bottom. You got a little bit of ways to go. Looking at your search traffic, this is estimated. Obviously, you know a little bit better than this tool how much search volume is there, but this 55 is what they're reporting. And then here's your search results. Some of the words that you're ranking for. Take a closer look at that. And here's your top positions: pediatric dentist, in Lacey, Washington, and then there's another version of it, just the same thing. So we look at those specifically, and we see the pediatric dentist in Olympia. You're not there, and you should be, because you're focusing on kids, but there is your website. So what that tells me is that the citations are hurting you because it's not matching where your website is. If you're in the top 4 here, you should be expected to see yourself in here a little bit. But you see the West Olympia office is not there, but the Hawks Prairie one is, and that's way down there. Pediatric dentistry, actually, Hawks Prairie is doing pretty good. Again, that could be manipulated by location, but you are number 2, so I reasonably expected you to be there in the maps. So we want to really leverage these maps things and take advantage of that, and where you're missing out, and that's where I think the high point would be for your business and your biggest return on investment from search marketing. So again, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this site audit. I hope that we provided you with some information, give you some goals to look at. I would actually also like to add, if we switch this position and we go by search volume and we go down, you're ranking for some great terms that Google finds you very relevant for. And you see thumb sucking, you're there, but you're not ranking for it. Hawks Prairie teeth. These are all information pages you guys created the content for way in the past. If we update those and clean up the on-page, I think we can leverage that and get a lot of traffic from the stuff that you're already doing without having to create some new content. Another point of issue that I'd like to point out to you is that you are using some Sesame's content for this. Now they have over 1,400 clients, I think it is. So if you take this term here, basically what they're doing is they're using the same piece of content on everyone's website that they make for them. They're not creating a unique piece of content to your business. They're telling the same thing or the same story to everybody. Now, this is great for your homepage because it builds up relevance, but if you're specifically targeting pediatric dentistry, like you are, dentistry for kids, then you have a little bit of issues. So basically what we did is we copied this out right here, and we did a Google search for it, and we found all 1,350 clients that Sesame has that they're using that exact same piece of content for on their website. And then you can probably find, if we go through here and search a little bit more, you'll find my my former client, Truan from Family Dentistry at Hawks Prairie. So that is one of many significant issues using Sesame that we have found. Because if you want to do and focus on dentistry of kids for kids, which looks like that's what you're doing, then you can't be trying to rank the same piece of content that everyone else is trying to rank as well. And Sesame should know that, but they don't. Another thing is, this is their content. So let's say you move your website at the end of your 12 months. Then this will leave with, when you leave Sesame, that is, they claim the copyright on this. So technically it's not yours. And then I also know that Sesame has a standard practice of having dentists transfer the domain names to their account. And they're charging you $17 to $20 to re-up your domain name every year. when you can do it for $15 a year at GoDaddy and maintain control of your own account. And it's even cheaper over at Namecheap.com. So right now they own the website asset by contract, and really you don't. And you don't control it, and you can't access it, especially when you're trying to implement your own changes versus paying them. You can't do that inside of your own dashboard, or you can't hire a web designer to do that for you inside of the dashboard. They have to do it, which really limits you as a user on that service. So I think that is it. We covered just about everything. If you have any questions on this site audit, go ahead and reach out to me over at digitaleer.com, or you can call us at 253-592-4476. And thank you, and hope you enjoyed.